are doing this on the recording, if you want to grab, if you have a roller, grab it, because we're going to try some things. If you don't have it, I'll give you other ideas. Also, if you have any balls, these are yoga therapy ball, yoga tune-up balls, but you can use tennis balls, dryer balls, anything you've got. And then your other normal things, blanket, maybe blocks, a strap, something to use as a strap. Let's get that for sure, okay? Boom, anything, a scarf, a towel, anything you got. And let's get started. Oh. Boom. All right, so we are going to start on our backs and we'll want to have your strap nearby, okay? And the other thing you'll want to have nearby is your block. If you don't have a block, the foam roller could work, or a rolled up tight towel could work as well. Okay, so just having those things nearby. And we'll come down onto our backs. Noticing all the places you're making contact with the floor, maybe even rock a little bit side to side like a mini windshield wiper, so you can feel the contact points with the floor change a bit. And then when you're ready to be still for a moment, just take a sigh. And then as you inhale, let's see if you can feel a three-dimensional breath. So meaning breathing into all sides of your torso. And then a long exhale, you could blow out the mouth. Allowing yourself to feel as though you're arriving here mentally, arriving here with your awareness. And welcoming in whatever is present for you today. And if you have any pain going on, whether that's physical or emotional pain, being aware of the pain without being overly focused on it, right? So just touching in so you notice when that pain sensation rises or falls, but not monitoring it too intensely, right? So you can take your focus outward, that can be helpful. Noticing light, color, texture, sound. And letting your breath be easy, letting your breath be soft, letting your breath be smooth. Good, one more breath like that. And then let's inhale and reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, let's bring the right knee in and give it a squeeze. We're going to go side to side with this. So we'll inhale, placing the foot down carefully and reaching arms overhead. And exhale, left knee in. Give it a squeeze. A few more times. Now the next time you catch your right knee, we're going to stay there. Good. Now your left leg could straighten if you want. Okay? And I'm going to take my right knee in my right hand only and just start to take it like as though I were bringing it to my right shoulder. So a little bit out to the side, but on a diagonal. Good. And you can bring it back and forth, kind of in and out of there if you want to. Okay, and now let's bring it back to center. Let's bend the left knee. And we'll take our strap and we're gonna hold behind the right leg for a moment. And you'll see what I'm doing is I'm just keeping the knee bent. I'm noticing how close my thigh is to my belly. Can I leave it that close and also move the heel so that the sole of the foot faces the ceiling? So it's like I'm in a big lunge on the ceiling. And then I'm going to take my strap. Now, if you're really mobile, you could also instead just use your right hand on the outer ankle or up on the pinky toe edge of the foot, okay? But most people will probably want to use the strap. And if you're doing that, you're holding it in both ends with your right hand, okay? And from here, I'm going to push my foot as though I'm trying to press it toward the ceiling, and at the same time, I'm pulling the knee down toward my right armpit. Okay, so I'm doing a big lunge on the ceiling here. And I'm providing this kind of counter pressure. And from here, I'm going to rock myself to the right and see if I can tap my knee down. I might not get it down on the right side on the floor. And then come back to center. Okay, so you're holding either the strap or your ankle or your foot. And going out to the side, I'm letting my breath be continuous here. Left knee is bent or semi-bent. You're not trying to keep it straight. And this probably isn't going to happen for most people, but my foot, the sole of my foot, stays facing the ceiling as I go to the side. Let's do a couple more. Good. And then let's come back up to the center, take the strap off of the foot, and straighten the leg out. So both legs straight on the floor, noticing two sides. And let's inhale, reach arms overhead, and exhale, bring left knee in and give it a squeeze. And then using just the left hand, I'm going to start to take the knee out to the side, but diagonally. So it's like it's going toward my left armpit. And just can come in and out, or you can leave it there, breathing. Okay, and then coming back to center, we're going to bend the right knee, putting the foot on the floor, and hold behind the left. And then find my strap. And as I put the strap on the foot or reach up with my hand, I'm going to keep the thigh where it is, so knee stays bent, but sole of foot starts to face the ceiling. Okay, now counter pressure, foot pressing up and hand pulling down. Just feeling that engagement in the hip. And then as you're ready, can slowly start to rock to the left, maybe tapping the thigh and knee down. Your right hip comes off the floor and back to center, and repeat. Now, those of you that are having any pain today or chronic pain, so you're just noticing as you do different things, how does it feel? Okay, you're not overly focused on it, right? You're noticing, does this feel safe to do? Do I need to back off? It's always good to be conservative if you're dealing with chronic pain, that is. Conservative, but not fearful, right? So just noticing what that is for you. Good. And then coming back to center, we'll release the foot. You can set your strap down and off to the side. Let's straighten out both legs and notice. Following your breath in and out. Good. Now let's inhale to bend the knees, spread the arms wide, and exhale. We're just going to let the knees windshield wiper side to side, rolling over the feet. You can always let your head rock too if you want to. Good. Now let's come back to center. And we're going to be doing a bridge pose. So if you have anything big behind your head, you could take it out of the way. We're going to use either your block, or you could use a roller, or a rolled up blanket that's really firm. We're going to lift the hips up when you're ready. You can inhale to lift the hips and exhale to slide the block underneath. Should be on the low or the medium height if you're using a block. And you want it on your sacrum, so that bone between your two pelvic halves, not your lumbar spine. Okay? And just notice how this feels. Might be nice to kind of rock side to side. If this hurts your back at all, you're not using a block, you're using a rolled up blanket, okay? It'll be softer or nothing at all. Now, let's inhale and reach the right leg up toward the ceiling, this time straightening the leg. And then feel your left foot on the floor, almost like you're making an imprint in the sand if you're on the beach. And you're pressing that left foot down. You can always hold the right leg behind it if you want, or even use your strap, or you can use no hands. Might feel good to roll the ankle here. And then roll it in the other direction. Good, and you know what? Since we've got them, let's grab our straps. And you can bend the knee and kind of lasso the foot. And stretch for a moment here, breathing. Try to relax your breath if you can. Relax your belly, your shoulders. Make sure you've got the natural curve in your neck. So a little pressure in the back of the head. The back of your neck is curved away from the floor. Okay, a couple more breaths. Now, on your next inhale, let's move that leg out to the right, but just a little bit. And exhale, come back. And again, inhale out to the right, just a little bit. And exhale, come back. Can you notice as you're doing this, you don't want to fall over, right? So you're only going a little ways, and you can feel, hopefully, your core stabilizing you a little bit. And see if you can do it without holding the strap. It just goes out. You're still using that left foot to stabilize. Good. Next time you come back to center, let's bend the knee, remove the strap, foot to the floor. Okay, back to your bridge pose. Take a breath in and out, and notice the difference in the two legs. Now let's exhale, bring the left knee up toward the ceiling, and feel the right foot making an imprint in the floor, rolling the ankle if you'd like. And then you could hold with your arms, or just take the strap up there, lasso the foot. Kind of relax through your shoulders, your belly, your jaw. Right foot staying stable, pressing down through the three corners of the foot on the floor. Good, and then just gently taking that leg a little bit out to the left. And you can exhale, engage the abdominals, bring it back. And again. Coming back to the center, let's remove the strap. Release it. And set the strap to the side and the foot on the floor. Now, we're going to place the feet a little wider than hips distance. And inhale, engage the glutes, lift the hips off, and see if you can take the block out of the way and stay in a glute bridge. So the glutes are engaged, the ribs are sinking down, arms at the sides. And now, could you come up onto your heels? So the toes rock off the floor. I needed to step my feet further forward to do that. Then I'm going to engage the glutes again. Now, you could put your hands on your hips here just to notice if they start doing this, if they start going down side to side. I'm going to try to keep them stable and see, could I walk my right foot another bit forward and then my left foot really slowly. Don't let the hips fall, right? If they start to fall, stay where you are or come down and take a break, okay? And let's try another step. Working those hamstrings. And then let yourself come down to the floor. Step the feet back in, but we're going to be right on the heels. So we'll start on the heels this time. The ankles in dorsiflexion, inhale. Then exhale, lift the hips off the floor. Engage the core if you can, okay? Backs of the legs are going to engage here. I'm going to try to step forward, only if the hips aren't sinking and going all over the place, okay? Then the other leg, then the other leg. You can even try walking back in nice and slowly. Good, and then let yourself lower down. You could either come into a knees to chest, or you could windshield wiper. See what feels better to you. Good, and now rolling to your side to come up, or you could rock yourself up, roll like a ball. And now we're going to take the foam roller first. Now, I'll show you what you can do if you don't have one. But if you have a foam roller, the way that we're going to place it is parallel to the way that my spine goes, okay? And I'm going to come down. I'll show it this way and then I'll show it from the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down onto the belly next to it. And then I'm going to bend one of my knees. So this is like a frog pose. My knee is out to the side. I'm on my inner knee. I'm above my inner knee on my thigh. And I'm going to be going back and forth like this. Boom. Okay. Now, if you don't have a foam roller, you could use some balls, of course. It's just a little trickier. But instead, you could get in here with your hands and self-massage, right? So you could do that if you wanted to instead. The foam roller works great. Or if you want to do more of a yoga position, you could bring your right leg out to the side in quadruped like this, okay? And do some cats and cows as you push your right foot strongly and firmly down into the floor. So you're pressing it down as you're cat and cowing. You can also sit back towards your heel like this and come up and down with the leg out to the side. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the foam roller. So for me, and I think this will get the area we were talking about at the beginning, but what you can do if it's not is watch what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm lifting my foot up so I can get down into this part of my inner quad muscles. And for me, these inner quad muscles, man, I haven't been doing this enough. They're really jacked up in there. I can feel it. And you can also take it up, even higher into more of the groin area as well, right? So you can go all the way up and down the length. And the way that I kind of pin and stretch it here is I lift and lower. So I internally rotate the hip, lifting the foot up, and then bring it back down, okay? Now, if you're doing this adductor cat and cow is what I call this, okay? I'm cat and cowing, I'm pushing my foot into the floor. If you've been doing that a while, keep pushing into the floor, try to tilt the tail up, sit back toward the heel and rise up, and just getting deeper into the inner thigh. And we'll join you in that in a minute. Feel free to stay on that side longer if that's the side you want to be on. Or whenever you're ready, switch to the opposite side. If you're doing this as a recording, you can pause it and take as long as you'd like. Ooh, this one's even more. Okay, so how long do I stay? The key is I stay to a point on a spot where I can breathe calmly, so it's not too intense, right? You can always lighten up pressure. And until I feel a little shift or a change. And if you don't feel a shift or a change after about 30 seconds, then you move on to a new spot, okay? It's just not ready yet to release totally, okay? You can also do the movement with it, lifting and lowering the foot. And if you've been doing the adductor cat and cow with the leg out, you'll be sure to get that second side too. Keep breathing here. Remember, you can go anywhere along that inner thigh, and to get more of the quad side of it, is going to internally rotate the leg so you can get there. Keeping the breath smooth, gentle, soft. Ooh. Well, I'm sure glad you brought this up today because I obviously needed to do this. My goodness. Okay, and this is a good one. I did this after my ACL reconstruction often. I did this knee rolling and I need to do it more. Okay, so that's something you can do. You can revisit it, you can stay with it, however you want to do it. We're going to move on for now. And what we're going to move on to is a regular cat and cow. So just on hands and knees, fingers spread wide. Inhale, tilt up. And exhale and fold. And again. Now, if you've already done the adductor cat and cow with the leg out and you don't want to do it again, then you can go on to coming into downward dog, either with the chair or without. But if you haven't done the adductor cat and cow, it's just the leg out to the side, foot pressing into the floor, and you do the same thing. You cat and cow. You can also sit back toward the heel and come up and down. And switching sides. And if you're doing the down dog, you can stay there, moving around, or you can come down and back into it again and again. Okay, let's take a seat. And you'll need one of your balls now. Okay, any kind of ball. So if you have them, two works if together in a little mesh bag, but we only need one for this unless it's really intense, and then two, by increasing the surface area, it makes it less intense. And I'll show what to do if you don't have a ball also. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this like as a hard surface. So I'm just using a block. If you don't have a block, a book can work. And I'm gonna take the ball and I'm going to place it, we're gonna start with the lower area of the calf. So what you do is you put it on there, right? You just put the ball below your calf. I'm kind of around my Achilles tendon, but you could go on the inside, right? So sometimes people are tighter on the inside, here, or I'm often tight on the peroneals, or the peroneals, I don't know how to pronounce it, on the outside. So I go more on the outside. So you're just hunting around for a tight spot. Now, depending on how much pressure you like for me, I like a lot of pressure. That's just how my body responds. So I would cross my other ankle on top to add weight to this as I did this, okay? If you need less pressure, you're not putting any weight, right? And you might even have to lighten up and kind of come in and out. Or you can they make these balls that are really soft. These are special massage balls, but you can get like little toy soccer balls and all sorts of things, and they're soft so that they put a lot less pressure, right? So if it's just intense, some people, whether you have chronic pain, it might be too much, or if you just don't like a lot of pressure when you get a massage, okay? So you're doing that. The key here, though, to release this is when you find a tight spot, you pause and then move the ankle around. So you're moving, rolling the ankle, flexing and pointing the ankle, breathing. Now, if you don't have balls at all, of course you can be doing this with your fingers, right? So you can be just getting in there, doing some self-massage. Even the roller can work. And then you can either stay with that third of your calf. I'm going to move up to the middle third of my calf. So I just went a little bit higher. Now I'm hunting around again for a tight spot, and I've got a lot of them higher up. Everybody's different. Whew, okay, I found one. All right, so you find one. You try to relax. You don't want it to be too intense, or it'll be counterproductive. And now I'm moving my ankle. I don't even know if I want to add weight to this one. Maybe? Okay, let me see. So I don't know if everybody doing this or watching has had a massage before, but if you've ever had a massage that's too hard, too much pressure for you, it makes you tense up, right? And then it's counterproductive. So you're not able to get the benefits of the nervous system relaxing and the body letting go, right? So that's the key here. Sometimes we think more pain, more gain, right? But actually it's the opposite, even with massage too. Like sometimes a very light touch will do a lot more. So you want to say, hey, can I keep my breath calm? Am I relaxed? You know, am I getting tight anywhere? Those are signs. Ooh. Now, you can go to the upper quadrant, you can stay there. So same rules here, like until you feel a shift or 30 seconds. So we're not staying forever, right? In the spots. We're not trying to torture ourselves or anything here. And most people that I work with, I don't think I've ever found somebody actually, maybe you guys are one of them, but that most people find this, that their calves are really tight. Okay, most people are finding really tight spots. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I will do this in bed. I will put a hardcover book, like I'm reading in bed, and I put another hardcover book under my leg, and I put the ball there, and I do it before bed, before I go to sleep often. So you can do this any time of the day. Another way to do this, just while you guys are going, another way to do it is on a chair, because it's more relaxing for your upper body. So you put the ball, I would need a hard surface because this is soft, right? So I put a book there, and you do it like this, right? Same thing. And then I don't need a block, and I get to relax my head and neck. Okay, so that's another option. Okay, Let's go to the other leg. So take your leg off the ball when you're ready. Just, you can sit with your legs outstretched or any way you want, and just feel the difference in the two legs. We're hydrating the muscles and we are bringing more circulation to the area, all of those good things that massage does. Second side, start with any third of the leg you want, okay? Ball on block, could be ball on chair. I'm actually gonna do that. I don't have a hardcover book in here today, but I think I could figure this out. Oh yeah. Okay, and when you find a tight spot, woo, okay, there's one. Then you pause there and you do the ankle. Can you breathe calmly, softly, smoothly? Remember, you can go more to the inside of the calf, more to the outside, or straight smack dab in the middle, doesn't matter, wherever you're finding tension. And that's probably 30 seconds, and you can find a new spot. Any third of the leg. And we were talking about this earlier. One of the doctors, Dr. Van Ahn, suggested this for some ankle issues, just releasing part of the calf muscles. I do this all the time. I'm a runner and a skier, and my ankles are really mobile, so I'm constantly strengthening them. But I also have had shin splints a lot in my life. I do this all the time for that. Any kind of ankle, shin issue. Knees as well. And then finding a third spot. All right. And then as you're ready, you can always stay longer. We'll compare the sides when you're finished. Just sitting, noticing, following your breath in and out. Good. All right. We're going to come up onto our feet. And flip your feet around and then bear get up. When you get onto your feet, let's inhale and reach the arms up and just stretch way up. If it feels okay to reach your arms overhead, we're going to stay here and exhale, lean to one side. Let your head lean on that arm and inhale back up. Then you can let your head lean on the arm to the side you're leaning, other way. Good. And inhale back up. You could do that again, or you could do it with arms down, right? See what feels better to you. Good. All right. We're going to stand in front of our chair seats with them facing us. Feet parallel. And wiggle around a little bit. A few bounces. Imagine when you're bouncing, like you're on a trampoline, right? Imagine you've got like a bottle of salad dressing or a jar of salad dressing and you're trying to shake up all the herbs, get all the oil and vinegar to mix around. Yeah, just moving around the fluids of your body, the lymph. Yeah, good. All right, now Notice how that feels, your connection with the floor. And then when you're ready, let's inhale and reach up. And exhale and fold. We're gonna take our right foot underneath the chair seat so you can't see it when you look down. And exhale, let's back that left foot up, left leg up. Now, my heel is off the floor when I do this, but you're gonna do what works for you. Now, can everybody bring their shoulders away from their ears? Okay? And my feet are hips distance apart, so it's not too hard to balance. And I'm just using the chair for balance, like for a point of holding. I'm not primarily holding myself up with my arms, okay? So your wrists shouldn't be hurting or your shoulders. I know it's a lot more work for the legs, but let's try it out, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna inhale and back this hip up. So all I'm doing is I'm sending my femur bone, my thigh bone, into the socket a little more. And feel like you're squeezing the legs toward one another. Good. And it's kind of like what we were doing on our backs, right? We had our foot facing the ceiling. We would have had our left knee bent, but you get the idea, right? Of course, we were going further, right? We were tapping it to the floor next to us. We don't have to come down here, but you could if you wanted. Let's see what it feels like. It's a little far, okay? Then come up, inhale, and now exhale. Let's step that back foot in a little bit, and then downward dog with the chair. Stretch it back. Inhaling and exhaling. And now let's bend the knees. Inhale, look at your chair, and exhale, step left foot forward. Back that right leg up. Same thing, okay? Same thing this side. Lunge, pose. So wrapping the left hip under, sending that left thigh bone back. Not much weight on your arms. Not much weight on the arms. Shoulder blades down your back. And again, just noticing, where are you feeling this? How does it feel in the hip? Can you feel the front foot, balls and heel of the foot? Good. And then hands to the chair. Gonna step that back leg in. And to do that, it feels a little better usually to walk left foot out. Step it forward. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Exhale, bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair behind you. And then inhale, stand. Exhale, arms out and down. Good. All right. We're going to be using the seat of this chair. Some people may find it necessary to also have a wall on the other side. Let's take the chair on your left, the chair seat on the left, okay? And what I'm gonna do is inhale, maybe I'll show you first so you can decide if you need the wall. Inhale, stand tall, and exhale, I'm gonna lift the left knee up and forward, turn it out, put it on the chair. Okay? So if you can stand like this without feeling like you're nervous about falling the whole time, then fine, you don't need a wall. But if you feel like, then do it, okay? Because this is not for balance, this is for another kind of hip opening, right? So now, looking at your foot, does it feel okay to turn the foot straight out to the side, to the left? Right foot is forward. And does the knee also move out that much, or is it falling in? If it's falling in, you might want to not turn the foot out as much, okay? Okay, and now let's put the left forearm on the thigh. You could always walk this right foot further away. See what I'm doing now? Yeah. You could reach the right arm along the ear like this, or you could keep it on your hip. Good. So let the neck relax. Yeah, just see where it feels best on your shoulders and your neck for your arm. And now let's inhale, look down at your left foot and just come upright. And again, you might want to walk this foot anywhere, closer or further away. What I'm going to do now is just start to bend and push off. Okay, and as I bend and push off, I'm going to decide, do I want my bottom leg further away or closer? And you're only going as far as it feels okay on your front knee as well, right? So if you notice me, you'll see I'm taking my knee way over my toe. No pain, okay, when I do that. But you want to be aware, how does it feel? And then you can start to take the weight toward the inside of the foot, the big toe side of the foot as you lean. Go carefully and see how that feels. So we want our legs, our knee, our groin, all these areas to be strong on all different angles, both, okay? But normally I'll say, oh, we're doing warrior two. Let's line up the knee with the center of the foot, right? I'll say that. But really I'm trying to say, can we get strong on all angles? Now try the pinky toe edge of the foot. Taking weight towards there, and you'll notice the knee moves out a little more. How does that feel? Going slowly. Okay, and now let's go around in a circle and back up. A circle. Now you don't have to go deep, right? It can be really a small movement. Good. And then just right down the middle. Just right down the middle. Strengthening the muscles around the knee, getting into the inner thighs as we do that, and strengthening there as well. All right, let's come back up. And we're gonna wiggle, like if you were out like me, I'm now taking my bottom ankle below the hip again, so I'm straight up and down. I'm gonna inhale, stand tall, and exhale, can I turn my hips and my chest to face the chair now? So I'm going to pivot around. Okay, good. Now I'm standing tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, can you lift that foot off the chair, float it. You might have to put it right back down. That's okay if you do. Okay, and then put it down and on the chair seat again. Up and down. Up, keep breathing. And down, good. Now leaving it on the chair. Now I'm going to back up. So now my hips are square to the chair seat. I'm going to come up onto the heel. It does not have to straighten all the way. If you're really tight in the hamstring, it might need to stay right like this, or it might be here. Okay, you can see where it works for you. Okay, bent or straight. But we're looking for a stretch in the back of the leg now. So you might be getting it just standing up tall, or you might need to hinge and fold. Just be sure your neck is at ease. And I know the chair, the wall, if you were using the wall, it's not next to you anymore, so it might be trickier for balance too. You can bend your standing leg if it doesn't hurt it. That might help. And if you're hinged forward, exhaling, coming up. Inhale, stand tall, bend the knee. Exhale, bring it down. A step side to side. And we'll move the chair or turn your body so that the chair is now on your right, and if you need the wall, it could be on your left or another piece of furniture. Okay. Well, inhale, stand tall. Exhale, right knee up. Turn it out and down. Checking in with how much the foot and knee want to turn out without increasing any pain. Okay. Just seeing how this feels. Good. And now from here, forearm to thigh. Arm can come up along the ear, or it could be here. You can also walk the foot out if you want. Breathing and relaxing your neck. And then from here, you might bring it back up. And we're just gonna go in and out. Okay, again, go carefully. And then we'll try going toward the inside of the foot. So the knee in, but go gently. See how that feels. Then you can try the outside of the foot. And then you can try around in a circle on the foot. And then just right down the center. And then coming up, walk that foot below the hip if it's not. Inhale, stand tall. And exhale, turning to face the chair. I'm going to practice just lifting it off right on the exhale. So you inhale, stand tall. Exhale, can you lift and maybe float it for a moment or two? And it can go back down and again. One more. And now we'll back it up a little bit to straighten the leg out or bring it towards straight, because you might get enough of a stretch right here. You can still hinge and stretch, sending the hips back, right? So figuring out what allows you to feel a stretch in the back of the leg, letting the neck and jaw be at ease, and breathe. And then when you're ready, can always bend the knee a little bit to rise up. Inhale. And exhale, foot comes off and down. And just step in side to side a little bit. All right, we're gonna come down to the floor. If you happen to have a wall space where you could bring legs up your wall, you could try that, or even like the back of a couch or a piece of furniture would work as well. If you don't, you're gonna use your chair, and I'll show both, okay? So you can come on or down to the floor, or get yourself near what you need. You might want your head and neck support. I'm gonna show the wall first. If you're using the chair, you'll set it up like legs over the chair, okay? If you're using the wall, you just if you're tight in the hamstrings, you don't want to get too close to the wall, okay? You bring your legs up. And for the beginning part here, we're going to do a figure 4 stretch like this. So if you're on the chair, you're doing this same thing, right? You're doing the same thing, but your heel is on the chair like this, okay? And this might be enough, especially with the wall. This has brought this in. You can see how close I am. It's bringing it really close to my body, so I don't even need to do the thread the needle pose like this, because I'm getting enough of a stretch. I just push my knee out to the side. And breathe. We're doing several breaths, figure 4, one side. Relaxing face, relaxing jaw. And you can inhale, take that leg up. Exhale, bring it to the wall or the chair. And cross the other side. Whew. All right. I'm a little too close to the wall for this side. Okay. You want your hips to be able to be on the floor, so you're not up like this. Right? So if you need to back away from your chair or wall, go for it. Wide inhales, long exhales. Good, and then inhale, reaching that leg up, and exhale, bring it down. Okay, if you're on the chair, hold tight. I'll give you an idea in a moment. If you're against the wall, for me, I need to get closer to it for this. You may or may not need to. What we're gonna do is take legs up the wall and then open them into a V. So I really love this pose against the wall. It doesn't matter how far you can go, right? This is just a passive relaxation stretch, right? So it might be far, might be more narrow. You want it to, again, feel like it's not too intense, just the right amount of intensity. If you do not have a wall, you could simply do legs over the chair, right? Just 90-degree angles like this with your head and neck support. But if you want kind of like a opening through the inner thighs and hamstrings, then you could do one of two things. Use a back of a piece of furniture, and you would do one side at a time. See, I've just got my one leg propped out to the side like this. This wouldn't work because it's not staying there. But you get the idea. You could use a couch or whatever you've got. You would spend several breaths on this side, and then you would switch and turn your body around. Or you could sit up and do a V-seat stretch up on a pillow or blanket and lean forward if you need that. Okay, I'll be quiet now. So about another minute here in whichever stretch you've chosen. If you can make your exhale longer than your inhale. Noticing if you need to back off at all so that you can soften more. Or is there any place that you're clenching in your body? Now, if you haven't already switched sides, if you're doing this one-legged, be sure to do that. If you're in a two-legged and it's pretty deep, this feels pretty deep for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently begin to use my hands to help, and the knees. And I come into a knees to chest at the wall. And take your time as you're moving through your own process. If you're at the wall, it might feel good to stay here or to even straighten the legs up. You can always back away. And if you're not at the wall, just might want to take Shavasana or any other restorative position. And if you're still using that long exhale, you could also let that go. Just sigh, letting go of all effort. feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Thank you.